King brothers and queen sisters, I have a story that I want to tell you. It is a two-part story, and this is the first of the two parts. Let's get to work.
Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died.
Power rising, King brothers and queen sisters. Thank you for stopping by, and welcome to the village. I am the village elder. In the 1980s, the movie The Color Purple came out. I watched it at the movies. I think I was in the third grade. And some weeks later, my mother watched it. My mother loved the movie. She still loves that movie. But the character, Albert, Mr., played by Danny Glover, it did something to her. Immediately after that movie, and it lasted for almost a decade, my mother couldn't stand to see Danny Glover on anything because of how well he played that one character. Just because he played the character Albert, and he played it so well, she couldn't stand to see his face on anything, nothing. And it took some time for her to get past that, to get past not being able to see his face. Like, she hated this man because of that character. And I always joked with her about it. I was like, Mom, he's just a character. The man did his job. And she jokingly would say, yeah, he did his job too good. But that's what it was. She couldn't stand to see his face because of the character, Albert. He did his job and he did it well. It wasn't until she watched Lethal Weapon some years later that she could finally stomach seeing this man. She didn't hate him as a person, but she hated to see his face because of that character, Albert. Now, I, on the other hand, I too love the movie and I love Sofia, but I couldn't stand Oprah Winfrey. And this was as a person. I loved her as Sofia, and I loved her on Brewster's Place. As a matter of fact, she hasn't done a character that I have never liked. Oprah is a hell of an actress, but I couldn't stand Oprah as a person because my mother watched the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I always felt like she, no matter how much money she made, that she always catered to white people. That's why I couldn't stand her. Her audiences were always all white or mostly white, vastly white. And I just felt like she catered to them. All the gifts that she gave to people who I felt like who had money. They obviously have money if they can show up at her studios and be in her audience. I just felt like she kept giving money to white folks, just kept giving money to rich people or people, wealthy people or people who already had money. She giving gifts to them under their seats and cruises and vacations. I hated that about her. And so I didn't want to see her face on anything. So I went over a decade and didn't watch nothing that had Oprah on it. I didn't watch her 3 o'clock show. I think it was 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock on ABC, something like that. So if anyone was watching her show, I would either walk out of the room or find something else to do. I couldn't stand her because of that reason. I always felt like she catered to white people and turned her back on her own or was exploiting her own. So when I got to college and moved off campus, my college roommate was watching Oprah all the time, every day. And one day I was in the kitchen washing dishes after class. And as usual, he was watching her show. On this particular day, and I think it was somewhere toward the end of her ABC show, she told a story about her grandmother down in Mississippi. And that story hit home for me. What gained my attention as I was washing dishes and had my back to the television was the story that she told about her grandmother working for white people, cleaning houses for white people. It hit home for me because both of my grandmothers cleaned white folks' houses. I guess you call them domestics or whatever, but they both cleaned white folks' houses. So that's how she gained my attention. Hell, even my mother cleaned white folks' houses in her younger years. Before I started school, I would even go with my mother and my grandmothers as they cleaned white folks' houses. So that's why it hit home with me, and that's how she gained my attention in her monologue to her audience. She was telling the audience about something that her grandmother told her. Her grandmother told her to find you some good white people to work for because they give you nice things. So that was her grandmother's idea of coming up, or how you get ahead, by finding you some good white people to treat you nice and to give you basically, and I'm not trying to disrespect her grandmother in no sense of these words, but her grandmother's generation, which is the greatest generation, their generation thought that getting hand-me-downs from white people was coming up, was a way to get ahead. The good white people who give you nice things. There's a good thing that Oprah was defiant. After Oprah told her audience about what her grandmother had said, find some good white people to work for because they give you nice things, she followed up by telling them this: I wish my grandmother could see me now because now I have good white folks working for me. At that point, on that day, at that moment, Oprah Winfrey's Randy Watson-esque mic drop really gained my attention at that point. It not only gained my attention, but that moment, she gained my attention and my respect. Oprah Winfrey just gave her audience a Randy Watson mic drop. Consequences and sentiments be damned. She didn't give a shit what her damn audience thought about what she said or how they felt. That's when she gained my attention and my respect. And as you can imagine, her audience remained silent. And then they felt compelled to clap. They felt obligated to clap. Whether they agreed with her or liked what she said or not, they clapped. What she told her audience at that moment represented the changing of the guard between generations, their perspectives and their tolerance levels. Again, Oprah gained my attention and my respect on that day, at that moment. Her then radical and defiant idea for a come up was starkly different from that of her grandmother's. We, the Gen Xers, are going through the exact same thing at this moment with the baby boomers. And it is time for a changing of the guard. It is time to change the guard. So Gen Xers, the baby boomers, have demonstrated to us that they are not going to pass us the baton. We are going to have to take the baton from them. Which means, Gen Xers, it is time for us to step up, to step forward, and to lead. Until next time, understand your assignment, stay focused, and remain resilient. Ashe.
Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our name.